A city has flows that are directed by holes, and matter that shifts, sometimes forming lumps. Not long ago, there was a city that was swallowed up by the sea. Although many experts claim to have predicted the catastrophe, none could have foreseen the peculiar objects that would emerge. A fountain that stands in the centre of a traffic juncture downtown is one such attraction. A fountain can be split into three essential parts: the pump mechanism, the ornamental structure, and the system of drainage, or font, ayn, anus. To understand how the fountain came to be, each of its parts will be studied in isolation. Font, a source, a spring. The animation of water is a performance of excess, an expression of vitality. Designed for decorative or dramatic effect, it makes wealth visible. In the advent of the new era, the matrix of streams and tributaries that had developed over thousands of years were suddenly replaced by large autonomous jets and fountainheads. Gradually, old industries became swamped, waterlogged, and were eventually carried away by the current. As the sea spills into the city and the city into the sea, people have no choice but to learn to swim. The phenomenon that capital is everywhere and nowhere arises. There are a number of bodies that are attributed to this, many of whom are in the business of rebirth and revival. Travelling around, gushing new life into exhausted veins, they move and are moved by speculation, the logic of which still remains a source of confusion. Investing in material forms and quickly losing interest, this nature can be described as restless. Ayn, a fountain appears in public spaces as a site of gathering, contemplation, and viewing. A significant distortion of time has taken effect underwater, making it difficult to historically locate many of the objects that have emerged. Initially, it was believed that the fountain derived from the Baroque tradition, heavily outdated, gaudy, and thick with colonial reminiscence. However, certain documents have been recovered that point to a more recent history, in which lumpy politics and new business incentives met and congealed to give the object its shape. Slowly, a new civilization has settled in between the crevices and shelters carved out by currents. The remains of the former city are believed to be haunted by those that were drowned or displaced. A gatekeeper can be seen, sitting by the fountain most days, exchanging talks with other locals that survived the disaster. Only he alone retains knowledge of the former site.
دي ماسورة تطلع منها المية زي الخرشوفة تنزل كده، ودي مية يعني قبلوا بعض. الماسورة في النص تطلع مية، ودي من الجناب كده كان شكلها حلو زي شمسية.
شمسية،
عارفة الشمسية؟ شمسية اللي الشمس
الشمسية.
Anus. the inferior opening of the alimentary canal. Drainage is essentially about how to deal with excess or surplus matter. This system uses holes. Not long ago, a number of large hands had begun to appear in the city. These would sweep over the landscape, picking things up, making them disappear, and gouging holes in odd places. New informal channels were created this way, and often worked against existing operations. Navigational skills within the ever-shifting networks of gutters and pipelines have become essential. It can be said that life in the city is highly improvised. As the large hands push their way through the city, they lay new promises upon emerging soil. Existing sites are quickly forgotten due to the acceleration of time that has occurred, ushering in types of hybridity never seen before. Since its appearance, the fountain remains unoperational. The gatekeepers of the city remain at their posts, even though the concepts of maintenance and care are quickly becoming obsolete.
لغايه دلوقتي الميه حبوا يجوا يغسلوها، الميه موجوده لغايه دلوقتي ملهاش صرف تمشي فيه. انت هتبص زي ما هي الميه عملت عفونه ودود وقرف لغايه دلوقتي. هذا اللي حصل، يعني هي الاول كانت احسن من كده.
Slippery zones that exist between land and water are where this new era is born. Unsurprisingly, the fountain has gone unnoticed by the majority of the metropolis. This is perhaps because its gargled image is not one in which the people can recognize themselves or their history in. All investigations into the cause of the disaster have been discontinued, and an ambiguity surrounds questions of what exactly has been destroyed and what has consequently been created.
دخلوا
Since its emergence, a sense of abjection mixed with disinterest is slowly rendering the fountain invisible.
يا برنس تاني 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 تاني